My name's Garnetta Terry. I live in McKinney, Texas. I'm from Shreveport, Louisiana. I've been in Texas for over 30 years. Wallace and I met online. Our profile just mimicked each other, and I think that's what kind of caught our attention to each other. I think what made me fall in love with him was his godly spirit and his positivity. He was such a strong, positive man. Just the person you dream about in the movies that you never think you're gonna meet. And we got married September 21, 2013. Married for almost a year, and found out that he had cancer in May of this year. We prayed and we stayed strong, and we took it as just one of God's tests. So really, we never gave up. He wasn't afraid of dying, I knew that, but we never thought that he would die. Through the process, he seemed to get worse and worse. We were in and out of the hospital and just fighting. I guess when they finally told us that he had like 2 weeks, I think that's when we first started to realize that he was gonna die. It was at that time they talked about hospice and faith and all of that, and I wasn't for sure what all that meant. I think the next day that I met Ashley, he came in, and I think I cried the whole time, but she was so sensitive to me and so understanding. It is exactly what I needed at that time. I think it was at that time when I met her that she was telling me about a project that I had no idea what she was talking about at the time. But it grabbed my attention because it seemed to be a way of just holding on to something. Because when my husband was so sick, I just remember just trying to take a moment away with me.
What Garnetta is talking about is what we call the Faithful Hands Project. And it's a project in which we can actually make a permanent plaster casting of either an individual's hand or two people either holding hands or in a praying hands position.
Well, after I heard about the program, how could I say anything else but yes? You know, and so she was telling me about the hands and what she could do and all of that, and just made it seem just something really special. And Wallace was there, and he was listening, and I was telling him about it. So it gave us something to look forward to, something that I could keep.
Part of the process of Faithful Hands is that I try and facilitate a session in which the couples that are participating are able to relay their stories again through each other to talk about. So I got to hear the story of how they met and how they fell in love and were married, and about how much they meant to each other. It's really just a physical representation of people to be able to share their stories. And then not only are you left with this beautiful legacy of the statue in itself, it's really more of a representation of the feelings that were shared between the participants while they were creating the statue.
It is like a part of him and me that I'll have forever. So I'm so thankful for her and what she's done to both of us, because she touched both of us. And it'll be forever in my mind and my memories. And I just want to say that they do a great job. And they just help me so much to have closure.
And that's what our ministry is that we can't change what the medical outcome is going to be. We can't change the fact that someone might be at the end of their life. What we can do is we can promise that we're going to be there with you. And we're going to walk the journey with you.
It's really the weeks and the time later when I'm by myself that I look over there and I can see that. And I feel a sense of peace. And I feel like he's at peace. It is the great memories that we have together through that process, and just through that that I feel blessed. And I feel like he's not hurting anymore. He's not any more pain. And he's okay. But I'm grateful to have those memories that that's with me forever in my heart.
Wallace had said to me that his one wish when he was diagnosed is that if he wasn't going to make it, that the last person he wanted to see was Garnetta. And we were able to see that on the last day that he was able to keep his eyes open, she was sitting right at his bedside. Holding his hand. And she was the last person he saw. I've been a hospice social worker for 20 years. And Faith Presbyterian Hospice actually provides the most comprehensive supportive services to families that I've ever encountered. My goal as a hospice social worker, but I would dare to say this is probably the goal of all of our hospice team, is to journey with them through what is really the most difficult and sacred time of someone's life, and that is the end of life. What I try and do is identify opportunities in which I can help families create moments that matter. We have a really large scope of volunteer services that provide special programs that other hospices don't offer, such as something that we call the Faithful Wishes, which is kind of like an adult Make-A-Wish program that we can provide meaningful moments and final wishes for patients. We provide bears that we make for family members out of a special garment that might be able to go to a hospice family's child or grandchild as an ongoing legacy for them. We have a pet therapist that comes and visits. We have a really comprehensive bereavement program that goes beyond the scope of what most hospices will offer. We offer monthly support groups. We offer specialized one-on-one actual bereavement counseling. I'm also involved in a lot of the special programs that we offer to both faith families as well as to the community, such as Camp Faith, which is a family bereavement camp that we offer not only every summer, but now we're going to offer it a holiday Camp Faith for families to come in to help parents and children learn about grief and loss from a developmental perspective. And we also have a yearly memorial service called Winter's Night, in which we honor those that we've lost. We do that also in the summer through programs such as the Butterfly Release, which is also open to the community. All of these things are provided by Faith Hospice. Faith Hospice also has programs that are geared towards children that are facing the loss of either a parent or a loved one. And we have a child life specialist that is actually a member of our staff, which is unique to Faith. And our child life specialist can go out and work with the children during the hospice journey and also through the bereavement process.